like school. You got to do your homework.
Exactly.
Got to. I hate to hear artists nowadays, especially people with the new wave, and I say, do you know who Africa Bambaataa is? Cool Herc, and they say no. That's disappointing. That's disappointing to me. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
not know where they came from.
And I don't play that with my guys. I'm like, there's no music first in here. Go do your homework. If I hear music in my studio first, you're getting kicked out. Because it's supposed to be some bonding. Let me see you looking at some videos about how things start. Let me see you reading books.
That's right.
I want to hear some pages turning. You know what I mean? And I'm really big on that because that's what the problem is now. We're too much into the gadgets. You know what I mean? And we forgot about this right here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't shake hands now. Now we tweeting, we texting.
Right.
There's no intimacy anymore. So we have to change that. And it takes guys like us that's in this room to do that. You know what I mean?
And that's what's happening though too. People don't see that. And now the new age of this digital age is now to revert back to that street motion, right? You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, because you need to hit the pavement, it's all happening. So not all music is changing. The only music that's probably not changing as much as country, because they have a core base.
Right.
So their core base, like when every other market is sucked, country still
gonna eat.
They still reaching that number. They still reaching that number. They don't really matter.
But they don't change their format.
Right.
It's a blessing. Now you got to think about this too. Why would a pioneer want to pass the torch to somebody
They don't know the game? That's right. And that's the way I feel. Exactly.
Right.
So
you don't deserve to be called the next thing
Nah, not
if
at
you
all.
ain't put in the work we put in.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, if you haven't even acknowledged.
Right, or even acknowledge where we come from. You know what I'm saying? So, like when I was coming up in hip-hop, what made a great hip-hop artist is you learned every other hip-hop artist's lyrics. Like you knew LL Cool J, you knew Cool G Rap, you knew X-Clan, you knew all the hot lyricists back in the day, you knew their lyrics. Nowadays, this generation doesn't learn anything about the culture. They just come out and they hear somebody spitting and then they mimic that in the studio and they think that's hot.
That's right, bro.
You know what I'm saying? If he calls himself Future, then that means he can only be one. You see what I'm saying? How are you going to have 100 of them? You see what I'm saying? These guys got to have style and learn to be original. That's where I learned it from. BDP, KRS-One, shout out to you too, fam. You already know how we did it back in the day, front page entertainment. You know what I'm saying? This game is real. If you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. And that's why brothers like me, Keno, and brothers from Hype Magazine and all of us, that's why we out here doing what we're doing tonight with Hype the Mic. Bring your best game out there, man. Don't come out here like you already signed. And I'm going to tell you, the biggest problem about our city is you can't help us. Because already when you meet somebody, say you meet an A&R rep from a major label, you walk up to them like you already worth $300,000-400,000, and you ain't even got $30 in your pocket.
Right.
And then as soon as the A&R rep say, okay, now I'm gonna need $5,000 to break your joint. You like, what you mean? I'm hot. I thought you was gonna sign me. Nah, it ain't about that. It's about what can you do for you to make me be able to better represent you where you're going.
record labels still like a bank.
Right.
That's what it
They
is.
give out loans, and that's exactly what it is. And if you don't fulfill the expectations of that label,
You get no loan.
they write that off, but it goes on your credit.
That's right.
The artists don't even know that it goes on your credit. So when you go somewhere and you start trying to buy a house, you remember that deal you had back in 1995, and you messed up $500,000? That's still on the credit. The label not gonna bite that. They wrote you off. They got their money. So that's why artists, you gotta realize when you flop, you still in debt.
21st century artists should be artists/entrepreneurs.
That's it.
That's the generation.
That's exactly what it is.
that I'm a part of. I represent that generation. Artists/entrepreneurs. You gotta be. And the labels want to deal with the more established artists nowadays. Like you say, they're not cutting the checks like they used to. They're not even developing the artists like that.
You gotta develop. You have to really have